Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. They met in back-to-back Super Bowls in the 90s, and they're together again. The Cowboys and Bills are underway. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, baby. Double tight, guys, double tight. Everyone's got four. There you go. 180. 49, guys. Mike, 49.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. A give to Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
47. 26.
Prescott now from the 50. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down, here's Allen. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
It's the toughest route to defend. And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Throwing on first down is Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Smith leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Here we go now.
Now Allen. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
This is Elliott. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Elliott, and now running right through it. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. Well, CD taking a peek at some of the injuries from around the league in Week 7. We did have a few. Quan Alexander on that Bucs defense went down with an injury. They'll be monitoring Sony Michel in New England. Now, remember, they already lost Jeremy Hill, Rex Burkhead out of that backfield. So, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Hurry up,
From the gun, it's Allen. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. It'll be a gain of 4. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Here's Allen. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Bills send the punter out. Back deep is Tavon Austin. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Austin. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Well, Charles, pretty big piece of news around the NFL on Monday the 22nd. Dallas Cowboys, all the talk about them needing a big-time target out wide. They went and got Amari Cooper.
The speculation was there. The discussion was there. But then late Monday, as you noted, it became real. The Cowboys decided they needed a WR1 and went to Oakland and got Amari Cooper and gave up their #1 draft pick for 2019 in return.
What do you think of the fit there?
I think the fit is excellent. Dallas screaming for a wide receiver who can attract attention, stretch the field, and make big plays over the top. He can do all of that. He should help his quarterback, Dak Prescott, become an even better player.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jordan Poyle. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Allen. And Thomas has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. go play action here on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better?
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Allen going to throw. And this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
On play action, Allen. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball. Intended that time for Cooper, and that'll bring up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. But we got a second here, Charles. Let's look back to some of those crazy finishes in Week 7 of the NFL last week. I mean, it seemed like every game had a wild finish.
It certainly did. Dallas, Washington, Brett Maher off the upright from 52 yards following a questionable penalty against his long snapper that moved the ball back 5 yards. How about Cleveland, Tampa Bay? Cleveland claws his way back in, and then Tampa Bay wins the ball game with Chandler Catanzaro kicking the big field goal from 59 yards in overtime. Remember, he missed a 40-yarder in regulation. Justin Tucker missed an extra point. That's the headlines in and of itself. His first miss in the NFL, and New Orleans gets away with a victory. And New England, Chicago. Chicago throws the Hail Mary at the end of the game. Kevin White, 54 yards. He needed 55.
Yeah.
Stopped at the 1 yard.
I don't think I've ever seen a Hail Mary come that close but not get in.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On play action, Allen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and it's third down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have is chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. Throwing on third and long. Allen, and he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22. A give to Elliott running left. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back now in Arlington, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth.
Go to 54, go to 54, wide
10th carry now for Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Prescott from the gun on third. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Second down, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Prescott now on 2nd down, escaping the pressure right. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Here you go. 46. Good.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here you go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, was the one disrupting there defensively.
Here you go, 47. Here you go, 47.
Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Now Prescott. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
And that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute. Now the try here for the extra point. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Right there. 54, right there. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Now one more shot at it. Obviously, again, they've got to go for the end zone.
Well, we've seen it happen before. How about Aaron Rodgers throughout his career? He seems to pull it off about every other week. But if I'm the defense, I'm rushing the quarterback and making him move away from his throwing arm. That makes it a little bit tougher to get it downfield.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.